everyone, I'm Noah. Welcome to my channel and my very first video. I am so excited. I figured the perfect way to get things started would be to introduce myself while getting ready for the day. So let's just get right into it. To start with primer, I'm just gonna go in with this Neutrogena Radiant Skin Primer. So like I said, my name is Noah. I am 26 years old. My birthday is September 18, 1999, which makes me a Virgo. My sister actually has the same birthday, just 3 years later. So she's September 18, 2002. And yeah, it's just always so funny. It's such a good fun fact. My mom, that makes her obviously a Virgo too. My mom's also a Virgo. So we're a family full of Virgos and perfectionists, and it definitely shows. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Under Eye Corrector. I live in New York City and I grew up in New York City. I grew up on the Upper East Side. Since then, we've moved downtown a little bit. But I love the city. I think the city is such a special, magical place. And it's so funny because growing up when I went to college, I was always asked about growing up in the city. Like, was it weird or anything like that? And I'm like, no, I don't know anything else other than that. Like, I can't imagine having a childhood anywhere else. I really, really loved it. I think recently the city has changed a little bit. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. We can get into that in a separate video. But New York will always hold a very special place in my heart. I'm gonna spot conceal now with the NARS Pot Concealer. This is in the shade Custard. Despite loving New York so much, I did move to Chicago for a year in 2024. My boyfriend was living there for work and we were doing long distance for a year, and then we just decided, I work from home, we just decided that it kind of made the most sense at the time. Since then, work has brought him back to New York, which obviously was kind of always in the plans for us. So I'm very happy about that. I graduated college in 2021 and I studied political science, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do after college. I interned at an ad agency and I really enjoyed it. That was in 2019, pre-COVID. Obviously, graduating in 2021, post-COVID, the workspace was entirely different. I went to work at the same agency that I interned at, and the experience just was completely different with like remote work. I only work from home, which definitely has its pros and cons. I currently really enjoy it, but I do feel like I miss human interaction. At the same time, I have a dog. He's sleeping right next to me. His name's Oscar and he's psychotic, but it allows me to spend he can't be left alone. He just has way too much anxiety for that. So it allows me to spend time with him. It allowed me to make the move to Chicago. So I'm torn about it constantly, but I do kind of wish that I was working in pre-COVID times just to have had that experience in office as well. For cream bronzer, I'm gonna take the Say Sunmelt in Medium Bronze with the Say brush. I love this brush. It's so multi-purpose and just huge and fun to use. So I mentioned living in Chicago. I loved Chicago way more than I would ever expect. It's such a gorgeous city with the river and the bridges and the architecture. Everything about it is really pretty. It's on the lake, so in the summer you feel like you have like a true beach, which is insane. Aside from the 2 weeks in the winter where you literally can't leave the house because it's so cold, I have not a single bad thing to say about it. In fact, I miss it so much and I want to go back to visit all the time. But the food scene was good. People are just so nice. It was very fun. The one thing that I struggled with coming from New York is it's not nearly as walkable. So I would be walking places or distances that normally in New York I would walk, but there would be no one else on the street and the walk wasn't that pleasant and I would feel a little unsafe walking, which is probably just in my head too, being a girl and I overthink everything. But overall, seriously no bad things to say. Obviously, quality of life is a lot better. You get a lot more for your money rent-wise there, which is always a good thing. I'm gonna take Mario Dusty Rose for cream blush now, and I like to warm the product up on the back of my hand and then go in with the brush from here. It just makes it a lot easier to apply. I mentioned having a sister. She is, like I said, 3 years younger than me. Her and I are so close. She just graduated college and moved back at home. So I see her pretty much every day. I actually see my family pretty much every day. Something that was important to me moving back to New York was living near them so that I could go over there pretty much whenever I wanted. And I do exactly that. I'm like there literally half the time, which is so fun and special. I'm very lucky to be in a situation like that where I live so close to them and I could go there whenever I want. It's just like seriously the best. So yeah, her and I are super close. One of our favorite things to do together is to go out to like eat or get drinks. Our favorite food to get is sushi. So we started Sister Sushi date nights, which since the start of them have expanded to Sister Sushi date night plus my boyfriend or plus our parents or something like that, which is still really fun. But it started as a way to make sure that we're spending intentional one-on-one time together, because I feel like so often when you're rushed in the day-to-day, we'll like meet for a workout class, but you're not really like intentionally spending time. You're just like doing it because you have to go work out anyway, and so it's more fun to do it with someone. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Hourglass Ambient Bronzer in Transcendent Light. This is a little dark right now. It's definitely more of like a summer shade, but it is really pretty. It has a really, really nice finish to it. A few things I've been trying to do more this year. I've been trying to read more in my free time instead of doom scroll. We all fall victim to it, but I really do like getting into like a super, super good book. My genre of choice is probably like mystery thriller, although I really do like a good rom-com. Who doesn't? Especially on the beach, like that's the most perfect thing ever. Also this year, something that was really important to me was intentionally getting dressed and getting myself ready every single day. Like I said, I work from home and it's so easy to fall into the trap of just rolling out of bed and hopping on your first call, like barely having your first coffee ready. I just really like the way that I feel overall when I take the time to have a proper morning routine and actually get myself ready for the day and actually put clothes on. It doesn't always have to be like a groundbreaking outfit. It could literally be jeans and a t-shirt, but even just that mentally sets me up for success for the day. So I started documenting that on TikTok. Starting in like December, I started posting consistently on TikTok, which has been another big goal of mine for the year. I found that I really like creating. It makes me so happy, like just setting up the camera and talking to the camera and editing and thinking of what to post. Like I really just enjoy that whole process. For under eye concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Say one, and I use shade 11, which I actually think is a little dark for me right now, but it's what I have. TikTok, I told you a little bit about why I started posting. Definitely to help motivate myself to get dressed, because I felt like if I was documenting it, then I would hold myself accountable in that way. But also, the beauty community, specifically on YouTube, was so important to me growing up. That's how I learned to do makeup. That's pretty much like what I always wanted to do. I would fake talk to myself. I never like actually had the guts to record it. I felt so embarrassed by it. But I recently have been thinking like, why the heck not? I'm struggling a little bit career-wise, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And whenever I think back to myself, like, what am I happiest doing? What do I really enjoy doing? What makes me feel fulfilled? It's something like this, and this was always kind of in the back of my head as something that I wanted to do. So right now I kind of feel like I'm living out my childhood dreams, filming this very first video for my channel. I literally always wanted to post like the beauty girls on YouTube here do. I'm gonna set under my eyes and anywhere where I spot concealed with the Fenty Invisimatte powder, which technically it's a blotting powder, not a setting powder. I just don't like the way powder feels on my skin that much. It like kind of sucks out all the moisture in a way that makes me feel a little uncomfortable sometimes, especially on like light work from home days. So I really like the way that this feels on the skin. It literally doesn't feel like powder at all. And I just take a small brush because I only have small places to set. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place, but back to some hobbies. A hobby that I don't do that often that I wish I did more of. I grew up riding horses, which like obviously is very challenging to do in New York. I grew up doing it in the Bronx and Riverdale. I would go on, they had an after school program at the time, and the bus would literally pick me up right outside my school, take me, I would ride, and then it would drop me off right at home. So it was like the most convenient thing ever for me and my family. But obviously they don't have adult after school programs because yeah. So I don't do that anymore, and it kind of just got hard to do after a certain point with like after school sports and stuff like that too. So I stopped for a while. In college, I rode on our college team for a few years, but that too got to be a little bit too much of a time commitment. So I really took a break for probably like maybe 7 years, maybe 10 years. And yeah, over the last 6-7 months, I on and off have been going. I found a place in Jersey that's like relatively easy to get to. So I'll do that when I can. But I definitely wish I could be a lot more consistent with that between work and friends and family and everything like that. It is really hard to add into the mix when it is so far from the city. It's not like it's like a 20-minute drive. You go, you come back. It's like a pretty big time commitment. And somehow, every time I'm there, 3 hours go by in like 2 seconds. I'm like, how did that happen? For blush, I'm gonna take MAC Blush Baby. This is a super natural looking mauve pink that I love to use for every day when I just wanna have like a slight flush, but nothing too dramatic. If it wasn't already obvious, I definitely consider myself a girly girl. I love all things beauty, skincare, hair, fashion, like even interiors. I did most of this place. Well, I actually decorated all of it, but a lot of this furniture was passed down from my parents, but still, like, putting things together, I just think I like the creativity that comes out with designing an interior space or putting together an outfit. Something that I post a lot about on TikTok is like styling outfits and how you can have jeans and a t-shirt give off such different vibes based on how you style it and the accessories you wear, obviously. But in addition to that, just like all things makeup, I love putting makeup on. I love playing with makeup, trying new makeup products. I definitely feel like I'm in the right space. All that being said, on here, I plan to post a lot of get ready with me's. I just want to hang out, honestly. I find that building a community is such a powerful thing, especially in this type of space. And yeah, I really want to contribute to that. I'm going to take the Make Beauty Brow Gel now just to brush my hairs up a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I plan on posting a lot of makeup videos, get ready with me's, anything outfit related. If you're interested in seeing maybe like work from home outfit tips, advice, and I say outfit like really loosely, but routines. I'm a big routine person. I mentioned that I like to wake up and have proper time for a routine. I'd love to take you guys through my work from home morning routines, night routines, really anything. I really just want this place to be a fun place where we can hang out together. I love to yap. I can literally yap about anything. And filming for TikTok is like the world's hardest thing for me because I have to keep the videos short and I'm like, I can't stop talking. But I'll like film a makeup tutorial and my sister will be like, no, you gotta shorten that. That's like, I'm bored. That's way too long. I'm like, I can't. So that's among one of the like many reasons why I started this channel and why I'm so excited to be here. For lip liner, I'm gonna take the Rhode in shade Lunge. I'm gonna keep it super natural today. Just line, not overline or anything, just like the normal line. To top the liner, I'm just gonna take the Ole Henriksen, the Pout Preserve in Creme Brulee Glitter. It's like a shimmery brown. Again, just going for a pretty natural look because I'm just gonna be working all day. Yeah, I think I gave you guys a pretty good introduction on myself. There's obviously so much more we can cover and probably so much that I forgot to mention. Final step, I'm just gonna curl my lashes. I'm gonna skip mascara today. I hate taking mascara off, and for work from home, it does the trick. This is the final work from home makeup look of the day. This is definitely not what I do if I'm like going out to dinner or anything like that. So if you want to see a more like full makeup look, definitely let me know. That will be coming soon. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I am, again, just so excited to be here and to be building this community. So yeah, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single video. I will talk to you later.